It started with a neighbor's porch light. You know how certain things become routine? Like the flick of Mrs. Rossi's kitchen window blind at 9:15 p.m., her silhouette shuffling to check the deadbolt. But Thursday night, the rhythm broke. Mrs. Rossi's light stayed dark. The radiator hissed like a held breath, and the apartment smelled faintly of burnt rye toast. Something electrical, maybe. I'd taken to sitting by the windowsill, staring at the brick wall opposite, counting the cracks in the mortar. Normal things. Safe things. But that night, light seeped through the slats of Mrs. Rossi's blinds. Ambry, wavering. Candlelight. A cold draft slipped under my collar. Her power wasn't out. Street lamps hummed just fine. The candle's glow wobbled, then split. 2 flames. 3. Dozens. They didn't gutter. Didn't shift with movement. Just burned, perfectly still. The radiator clicked off. Total silence. I fumbled for my phone. 2007 a.m. A shadow passed behind the blinds then, tall, hunching at impossible slopes, shoulders kinked like coat hangers. The last candle winked out. The fridge shuddered on downstairs. I exhaled. Normal sounds. Routine. But when I looked back, Mrs. Rossi's kitchen blind slid down at 9:15. The cracks in the brick wall had multiplied overnight. I counted twice 37, then 41, but my fingers trembled, smudging the fog my breath left on the glass. The burnt scent clung now, oily in the back of my throat. At 9:16, her blind twitched. Not a full glide, a spasm, like something bumping against it from behind. No candles tonight, just the street lamp's sodium glare painting her window jaundice yellow. The alley below swallowed sound. No trash cans clattering, no distant sirens, only the hum of the street lamp lower than I remembered. Subsonic. Filling my molars, something moved in the periphery. Not in her apartment. Here, the ceiling. A scratch like a finger tracing dry glue along plaster. I held still. Plastic. Metal. It stopped. When I turned back to the window, my breath didn't fog the glass. The bricks across the alley pulsed faintly, a bruised Venus purple where mortar should be gray. Count the cracks! Count the cracks! No! 37 again. Downstairs, the fridge kicked on with a wet, rattling gasp. But the smell... God, it wasn't toast anymore, sweet and metallic, like pennies left in rainwater. Mrs. Rossi's blind jerked upward in one violent snap. Darkness behind the glass. Too dark. Street lamp still glowing. The street lamp's hum thickened, syrup slow, and my jaw ached from clenching. That darkness in Mrs. Rossi's window. Wrong. A void, not an absence. It drank the light. My tongue found the roof of my mouth, sticky with the penny water taste. Something dripped downstairs. Plink. Plink. When I looked down, the linoleum warped beneath my socks, wavering, like heat off asphalt. My calves went cold. The cracks in the wall, were they breathing? Fine, wet exhales spiderwebbing the plaster. Count them! Count them! The microwave clock blinked 9:16. Still, always. My phone glowed 11,009. I thumbed the screen. 11,009. 11,009. 11,009. 6. Sticks. Shadows pooled where they shouldn't longer, thin, stretching toward the hallway as if something leaned around the doorframe. A low whine seeped through the ceiling. Not the scratch this time, a child's hum, tuneless, or a fly trapped in a glass. My thumb pressed into my palm, nail whitening. False! False! But the sound swelled, pricking my tear ducts. Downstairs, the dripping quickened, a wet gasp. Meat parting. Just pipes. Just old pipes. Just old pipes. When I shut my eyes, the afterimage throbbed. Tendrils of mortar, black and glistening, knitting themselves across the alley bricks. Alive. Squirming. The street lamp died. Not a flicker. A snap. One heartbeat of perfect stillness. Then its light sputtered back, sulfuric and green tinged. Mrs. Rossi's blind hung limp. Beneath the vinyl, a hand floated, translucent, fingertips grazing the slats. It had my mother's wedding band on its ring finger. The air congealed, rust and lilac rot. The hand's fingers twitched, ligamentless, each joint bending in too many places. "Mom's ring." The garnet winked, speckled with tarnish I'd scrubbed from its setting years ago. Footsteps shuffled behind me, viscous, ankle-deep. I didn't turn. A breath skated over my nape. Sweetness soured with mildew. The walls pulsed, soft, insistent. "This isn't," I whispered. My voice split, twin frequencies warring. Lightheaded, I gripped the windowsill. The blind rattled. Mrs. Rossi's silhouette loomed beyond the glass now, bloated, neck hinging sideways. Her mouth hung slack, something writhed in the gullet, fibrous, glinting. Bile rose. I leaned closer, forehead smearing the pain. The walls shivered. Plaster rained. In the debris wake, veins bulged beneath the wallpaper, fat, blue-black, branching, throbbing. The drip quickened. A wet tread approached the stairs. Squelch! Squelch! The hallway light buzzed, dimmed. In the half-dark, the cracks stretched toward me, converging, twining, sentences, words gouged into the wall's flesh in a dialect of rot. "Come, upstairs, Marta." Cold clamped my windpipe. I never told Mrs. Rossi my middle name. Above, the humming sharpened. A chorus now. Small, shrill voices harmonizing with the house's groan. The ceiling bulged, moist, translucent, shapes pressed against the plaster from above, hands, small and countless, palms flattening, yearning downward. Toward me. The floor softened under my soles, warm, spongy. My reflection wavered in the glass, edges blurring as if the air itself were digesting me. The ceiling membrane quivered. Those tiny hands flexed in unison, knuckles blooming bone-white through gelatinous flesh. Beneath the hum, the voices clarified. Not song argument. Grandma's rasp threading through a child's peevish whine. "Shh! Shouldn't have opened the album." A man's baritone, shredded at the edges, just like her mother. Greedy, greedy. My tongue stuck to the roof of my mouth. The ring, always the ring. Mom's choked confession the night she died seeping back. "We borrowed things, Marta. Time, breath. You have to give them back." A hand fell on my shoulder. Not a hand. A seepage. Cold pooled through my sweater, branching like mycelium, rooting me to the spot. The walls puckered, groaned. Between the veins, new blisters swelled, distended. Eyes, dozens, slitted, yellow, tracking my shudders. "Please," I breathed. The house inhaled. Floorboards behind me splintered upwards, jagged teeth gnashing at empty air. Something giggled. The upstairs hallway yawned darker now, a throat waiting. Shadows congealed on the 6th stair. A figure crouched, gangling, head cocked. Plaster rained as the ceiling hands spasmed, reaching, pleading, or pulling themselves free. I stepped toward the stairs. Don't! My legs moved. Compulsory. Mechanical." The thing on the stair scuttled backward, beckoning with a finger bent double at the middle joint. "Familiar!" The way Mom's hands twisted in her final hours. 6 steps up. The 2nd-story door swung open. Her bedroom. But not. The door clicked shut behind me. Not her faded lilac wallpaper scabbed leather stretched taut over curves of cartilage. Her vanity mirror reflected nothing, just a viscous sheen pooling at its base. Shadows nodded in the corner. Her Sunday dress draped over, angles. It twitched. "Did you think you inherited this?" My left hand burned. Grandma's wedding ring fused to my finger, the garnet throbbing like a fresh incision. Floorboards rippled. A seam split the bedspread, exhaling decay and singed sugar. Baby teeth clattered inside the mattress cavity. The figure skittered closer, its neck striped with ropey keloids. Mirror mucus quivered, shapes condensed within, a child pirouetting on a rotting porch, her laughter dissolving into wet hacking. Grandma whispering into an ear that wasn't mine. The ring tightened. Splinters of garnet burrowed beneath my cuticle. "Blood isn't payment!" The dress crooned. Something coiled around my ankle, cold, corded. Familiar. The walls peeled back layers, revealing raw marrow architecture. Carved initials, dripstones of clotting hair. The house wasn't haunted. We had built it from ghosts. The figure pressed its brow to mine. Smell of chloroform and breast milk. Between its eyelashes, my pupils staring back. How many birthdays did she steal? The floor opened. We fell upward.